Wasabi Wallet. I'm fairly private.
What's up everyone, I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions, and today we're going to be taking a look at Paxful, which is an online peer-to-peer marketplace which allows you to utilize over 300 different payment mechanisms to buy Bitcoin or vice versa. This is your daily session.
Hodl that Bitcoin.
Before we jump in, of course, shout out to sponsors of the show, LEDN.io. This is where you can use your Bitcoin for a variety of different services. You've got Bitcoin savings accounts where you can earn interest on your Bitcoin. You've got Bitcoin-backed loans where you can use your Bitcoin as collateral to obtain Canadian or US dollar loans. So if you're in a pinch and you need to get your hands on dollars, but maybe you don't want to sell your Bitcoin, this could be another option for you. And finally, you have your B2X option. This is for you Bitcoin bulls that want double the exposure to the price fluctuations of Bitcoin. And secondly, we've got Rise Wallet, which is a physical Bitcoin gift card you can gift to anybody. It's super easy, super idiot proof, and you can utilize it to onboard new users, pick it up at a store near you, gift it to them, and they're instructed to scratch and scan a code on the back with the paired app, which creates them a brand new Bitcoin wallet and sends them an on-chain transaction for the face value of the card. If you want to check them out, head over to risewallet.com and click on locations to see where they're at. Now, they are only in Canada at the moment. They're looking at expanding though, so keep an eye out. With that, let's dive into the show. So today, as I said, we are looking at Paxful. Now, I did previously do a video on these guys a few years back now. It's actually, if you look on YouTube and you search Paxful, it ends up being the first video, at least last time I checked. So I figured a good time to do an update. I've also been talking with the guys from Paxful, and they're looking at partnering with the show. So I figured let's take a look at everything that they've been working on. It's quite different from what I looked at a few years back. They've done a lot of updates, so kind of cool to see. Now, this is a peer-to-peer marketplace where they also have escrow in between to deal with any issues that come up if there's a dispute. So they do have 300 plus payment options. You can do things like bank transfers, e-transfers, wire transfers, all that kind of stuff dealing with banks. They also have mechanisms that you can use, things like gift cards and PayPal and Cash App, and just about anything you can think of, you can pretty much pay for Bitcoin using it, which is why it's so useful to a lot of people that may not have the ease of use of getting into some of these online exchanges and marketplaces, or may not have solutions like Bitcoin ATMs near them, or they just may not be comfortable with the idea of uploading and connecting their bank account directly to an online exchange, and they may want an alternative where they can utilize things like gift cards to get Bitcoin via peer-to-peer marketplaces like Paxful. Now, there are varying levels of verification on Paxful, and it really depends on the seller or buyer that you're dealing with, because they can set their own requirements. Paxful also has to adhere to KYC and AML laws. So if you're doing a lot of volume, that may require additional verification. But again, it's very dependent on you and what you're looking for. So for buyers, as I said, the attractive properties here are just the multitude of payment options that you have. If you don't have easy access in where you're at, or if you prefer to be a little bit more private for smaller volume, there's a lot of different things that could draw you to this platform. Now, on the seller side, it's attractive in the way that you may want to provide liquidity and be making money in this option by marking up the Bitcoin that you're selling. Because these aren't all traditional payment methods, when you're accepting stuff like Bitcoin, or when you're accepting stuff like gift cards in exchange for Bitcoin, well, in doing so, you are able to charge a bit of a premium to do that. So this can be attractive to some people, and You can also use it to obtain cheap gift cards. So like, let's say you're already planning on doing some shopping on Amazon or Walmart or whatever online marketplaces, Apple, you can use your Bitcoin to essentially be purchasing gift cards, but really it's the person using gift cards to purchase Bitcoin through you. And in so you can get some really killer deals on gift cards through Paxful. So we're going to be taking a look at that. The whole thing is done through reputation systems. So be aware that Paxful is not at fault if there are scammers on the site, as there are in many different instances, but just be aware that you do have to kind of keep an eye out and go with sellers and buyers I would recommend that have decent reputations, or if you're willing to go with a seller that hasn't established a reputation yet, make sure that it's low volume first before you dive headlong in. And with that, I suppose we can pretty much dive in. Let's take a look at the dashboard, everything that's in front of you, and then we'll go into buying and how you would sell and a few other details. Here we go. Here we are on the main page of Paxful, and let's just take a look around to see what's in front of us. Up top is kind of where you're mainly going to be focused. You have your button for buying Bitcoin. You've got sell Bitcoin. You can create an offer. You can navigate to your wallet. You have a drop-down menu for any of your dashboards. If you like the old version of Paxful, if you were on it previously, you can always navigate back to that. You can become a vendor. So if you're regularly selling or buying via here, you can actually set up a little bit of your own store and make it a bit of a business for yourself. And there is an affiliate dashboard where you can earn some pretty decent fees through affiliate marketing if you're into that sort of thing. And we'll dive into that a little bit later. And then finally, on the right here, you have a drop down for your profile and settings and previous trades, etc. And your notification button there if anything happens to pop up. Scrolling down the page, you can have, you've got a little window for buying. You've got a bunch of different information on previous recent feedback and traders that you've looked at and dealt with, and just some general information about the site. So we're going to dive in right away to buying Bitcoin, and we're going to do that just by clicking the Buy Bitcoin button here. Now, this takes us to a screen where we get to choose how we would like to purchase Bitcoin. So first, you can pick a payment method. And when you click Show All, it's going to give you a massive menu of their 322 options at the time of recording this video, at least, that they have for payment. You can divide them into specific methods. So you can go to bank transfers, online wallets like Alipay, PayPal, Cash App, exchanging gift cards, different types of gift cards down here, cash payments, debit and credit cards, and even exchange for other digital currencies. So when I go to all payment options, if you have location settings turned on, it will let you know what payments are popular in your area. So I'm Canada, and there are a number of options here that are popular for me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose one that I would like to use, which is an Interac e-transfer, which is particularly easy here in Canada. Now, secondly, you can choose an amount, so you can specify an amount, which will eliminate any offers that do not include that amount if it's too low or too high. And you can also designate a currency. So obviously, I would prefer to be using Canadian dollars, and I can simply type CAD and click on that. I'm not going to designate an amount right now because we'll see what's out there. And then you can also say any offers relevant to you in your location, which again, it detected, but I can actually loosen that up to be worldwide or specify a different country, perhaps if I'm using like a VPN. So let's take a look down at what popped up for, remember, I just designated Interac e-transfer, so I really kind of focused in on what I'm looking for here. We see a few offers that have popped up. Now, along the left, you're going to see the name of the seller, when they were last seen, and a little bit about their reputation. So I see here the first offer is from a guy that only has 2 interactions. They were both positive, but it's pretty small, and I tend to prefer that I deal with individuals that have a bit of a longer standing reputation than that. Whereas looking down these other three options here, they've got quite a bit of history. They've got, you know, hundreds of positive interactions, and I don't see any negative interactions here. In the next column, you can see now, if I had opened this up to all payment methods, it would say what kind of transfer or payment method I would be using. Of course, right now it designates all Interac e-transfers. You also see if there are any requirements here. Now, for the first one, with not a lot of reputation, there are no requirements. So that may or may not be a red flag, or it could just be because the person is so new that they don't want to impede any new buyers, and they'd like to kind of, I guess they're going to take the risk on not requiring ID for their first few transactions until they build a bit of reputation. Regardless, as we move further down the list for these guys that have a long history, I can see that I'm going to require photo ID here, and it also requests that I need to be making this from my own account. I'm not doing it on behalf of a third party, and very much the same for these other ones. So I'm going to go ahead. I just want to double check on this seller here, and if I click on his profile, I can see, well, he's had 642 positive feedback, 1 neutral, and 0 negative. I can also see he's the #1 Canadian trader on Paxful, which is nice to know. Online all the time, fast release and payments. I can see that he's had 278 trade partners, over 1,000 trades, is marked trusted by 87 people. So those are probably people that regularly deal with him. Blocked by 18 people. Now, I'm inclined to believe that if you encounter somebody that is not super honest or potentially trying to scam people on here, and you either call them out or neglect to interact with them based on that, then they're probably going to block you. So that is probably why. And this person has been going for 3 months. So it's some impressive volume in that amount of time, between 10 and 50 Bitcoins. So this person is obviously trying to make a bit of a business out of it. You can also see that apparently that they're doing a lot of different methods of buying and selling, which also leads me to believe that they are indeed making a business out of this, making some money on the arbitrage or the spread between buying and selling. So if I navigate back to the main site here, there's one last thing that I want to take a look at, and that's over on the right here, the rate per Bitcoin. Now, since I'm going through Paxful and there are a lot of different payment methods and a lot of people are using this as a business to make some extra money, then and because you may be utilizing payment methods that are not typical, especially when it comes to gift cards and things like that, you're likely going to be paying a bit of a fee here. And a lot of these fees tend to be in line with what you're going to be paying at a typical Bitcoin ATM. Sometimes a little bit less, to be honest. I've seen the average ATM tends to be around 10, sometimes 15% at the time of recording this video. Other places in the States, I know it's just excessive, like 20, 30%. So you can take quite a hit on those machines. Whereas here, it's, you know, it's still a decent percent, but if you're utilizing alternative payment methods, then you're likely going to be taking a bit of a hit anyways. So the guy that didn't have a lot of previous interaction is only at around 6.9% markup, but I see that the guy who's the #1 in Canada is currently sitting at around 8.89%. So I'm willing to take the hit for this buy, but keep in mind, if you're on the other side of this and you're providing liquidity like this, you can be making those kinds of percentages on your Bitcoin. So let's take a look. I'm going to hit buy. And at this point, it's going to take me through what I need to do. So I would like to purchase, I'm just going to go on the low end. He says the lowest is $50. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do $50 here. This is how much Bitcoin I'm going to receive. So yeah, I'm going to take like a $4 hit here. But that's okay with me. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit buy now. And so at this point, at this point, it tells me, okay, follow all the instructions. Once I've made my payment, click paid, otherwise hit cancel. Okay, so the instructions here say that if that I need to upload a clear picture of a government issue ID and then a selfie of myself holding my ID and a note saying I'm purchasing X amount of dollars worth of Bitcoin from Bezos on Paxful. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Now, obviously, it's going to vary very much from person to person and who you're dealing with. And yeah, and I can see right away he has sent me a message. Now, full disclosure, I dealt with this guy previously from this account, so I kind of was doing my research prior to making the video. But he says, okay, send an e-transfer to this email address, the exact same one, using the same previous bank account. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do that. I think I'm pretty much good to go. I've already provided him government ID. He says, I don't require verification for any other trades. So since I've already gone through those hoops once, I don't have to do it again, which is the benefit of establishing a relationship with a vendor on Paxful. Then they just kind of become your go-to. So at this point, I'm going to open up my online banking and I'm going to send an Interac e-transfer to this email address. And then once I do that, I'm going to come back and hit paid. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show you guys my bank account, but I will be back as soon as I finish doing that.
A few moments later.
All right, and so I'm back. I have now paid via Interac e-transfer. It took me like 2 minutes, especially after having already transacted with this person before. Now I just have to hit paid. It says just confirm, have you followed all the instructions already? And yes, I have. And I'm going to hit yes. And at this point, the vendor is verifying my payment. So he's probably going in, checking that the Interac e-transfer has arrived, accepting it. And once he's accepted it and the money's in his account, then he will release the Bitcoin into my Bitcoin wallet on Paxful. And we should see that momentarily. This guy appears to be online already. So let's just come back as soon as he accepts the offer. Hopefully it's not too long from now. All right, that was very quick. You can see the yeah, literally 1 minute between when I hit paid and when he verified and sent it. Now, again, varies from vendor to vendor depending on how active they are, but this guy has been hella good. So awesome. I can leave positive feedback. Once again, very fast. Thank you so much. I'll submit feedback. And boom, that is that. So I now have successfully paid for via Interac e-transfer for this Bitcoin. And I can now back out of this and I can go to my wallet. So I'm going to navigate at the top of the screen here, hit wallet. And I can now see that I have a balance of around $77 because I did previously make a trade with this individual. So if I go over to transactions here, I can see that I made a transaction for 35 previously, and I did one for 50 just now. So I have successfully executed a few transactions. I can also toggle here, by the way, between Bitcoin and fiat. It does give me a US dollar balance over here, but it also states Canadian dollar balance right here of what I spent. And outside of that, let's go into the opposite. Let's go into what the sell Bitcoin screen looks like. So I'm going to go up to the top here. I'm going to hit sell Bitcoin. And this is selling and spending Bitcoin. So it gives you a bunch of different options to a bank account. So I can sell Bitcoin and get money sent to a bank. I can get cash. So whether this be in person or through something like Western Union, I can trade my Bitcoin for digital currencies. I can get huge discounts, up to 50% on some gift cards, which we're going to touch on that in a second. Or I can send funds to a bank account, PayPal, or to friends, basically anywhere. And so let's go ahead. I want to take a look at some of these offers. So I'm going to go show all. And just for a second, I want to show you guys some of these deals on these gift cards because it's ridiculous. So I'm going to say gift cards. I'm going to see view offers for gift cards. This is specified within Canada, so Canadian gift cards. But like, look at some of the, especially these high up ones. These are people that are likely getting massive bulk discounts on physical gift cards and then being able to send them out. Now, it does specify here physical cards only. So physical gift cards are the ones that will be sold. Now, I want to, let's see here. I can specify Canadian dollars, so maybe I will do that. Canadian dollars. And again, sell and spend. So yeah, so basically, let's just take a look at a couple of these offers. So like Amazon gift cards, bulk buyers needed. So if I want to click on this, it shows me that I will receive an Amazon gift card for, let's see, I want a $100 gift card. That'll give us a nice easy amount, okay? So I'm going to pay this much in Bitcoin, which is $68.98 worth of Bitcoin. Now, there is a 2% fee that goes to Paxful for their escrow services in doing this if I'm selling my Bitcoin. But yeah, if I hit sell now, it'll take my Bitcoin, put it in escrow, and this person will then send me a physical card that is an Amazon gift card that I can then use on my Amazon account. Yeah, so pretty impressive. And again, it does very much vary from vendor to vendor, but I can see this individual here has a reputation of well over 1,000 positive interactions that he's had. 2 negative, but out of the 1,000 plus that he's had, that's pretty damn good. So this person is clearly, they've got their hands on cheaper gift cards at bulk, and they're able to sell them off for amazing discounts. So if you're looking to pick up cheap gift cards, this could be the way to go. Again, always be wary and make sure that you're finding people that have a solid reputation in the store. If you go with somebody who has a few people that have only a few positive interactions and they're utilizing something like PayPal, let's just take a quick look here. Look at this. If we go in and you choose PayPal, it actually gives you a warning. PayPal is high risk, and you're kind of accepting responsibility that transactions can be reversed and you may be on the losing end of that deal. So you have to be careful, but Paxful does do a good job of warning you when there is something fishy. And they do have a lot of different videos out there about avoiding sellers that may or may not be difficult to work with or malicious. Now, I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin because I want to stack those sats. I'm going to leave those be, but I do want to show you a couple other things here. We're going to go up to the top, click on create an order. And this is where you can actually create an order yourself. So we looked through orders to buy Bitcoin and sell Bitcoin, but we didn't have the option yet to create one. All you would do here is, let's say you want to sell some Bitcoin. You want to make some money on your Bitcoin and maybe turn it around. Maybe you have a supply of liquidity and you can start running a bit of a business here. So you can make an offer, or maybe you want to make an offer for buying Bitcoin because you don't want to quite pay what's on the store, but you think that you could probably get somebody to scoop up your offer if you make one. Okay, so I'm wanting to sell my Bitcoin, and I like to get some gift cards. So what kind of gift cards do I want? I want some Amazon gift cards, and my preferred currency is Canadian dollars. Next step, from here, it says, what kind of percentage above market do you want? So I'm going to say maybe I want like a 15% markup here. And I could say, well, what kind of limits? Maybe 100 to 500. Okay. And then you can say, what kind of a time limit do you have on your offer? If somebody goes to make their payment, how long do they have to do so? Then from here, you can go on to the next step. And you can check what kind of tags, so online payments, if you don't require verification, what kind of cards that you need. There's a whole lot of pre-done tags that you can click on, and that will be underneath the offer when it gets listed. You can name your offer. You can show the terms for the buyer, any specifics that you want to put in there, any instructions that you need to add. If you want to click that you require ID, then you can, just to verify the person is buying from you, that they're legit. You can select a target country. You can show this offer only to people that you've trusted and you've already dealt with, so that's an option. What about minimum trades required? So you want somebody to have done X number of trades already. Limits for new accounts, basically everything that you would want to limit the number of people that might access your ad to cut down on any types of fraud. You can do that here. And once you're done that, that's when you can then create your offer. Now, I'm not looking to sell at this moment, but this is how you would do such. And then you would be notified as soon as an offer came in for whatever you've put up on the store. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys is the affiliate dashboard, if that's something that you're interested in. So right here, you can see that obviously there's no affiliate balance yet. You can transfer balances to your wallet from the affiliate wallet when it adds up above $10 USD. And then other affiliates, this will list who you have, how many people you have as tier 1 and tier 2, and I'll explain that in a second. So essentially, you can share your Paxful link and you gain fees from the escrow fees that Paxful charges. So you saw in a previous trade that Paxful was charging a 2% fee on one of the trades that we would have been doing in selling Bitcoin. And so, you know, on $1,000, that is $20. And so you would get 50% of anybody that signs up under you, any of those fees that Paxful charges. So if they do $1,000, you would get half of the fees there of that 2% fee. You would get $10 for that $1,000 trade. On top of that, that person then signs up under them, you get 10% of the affiliate fees. So if somebody signs up underneath somebody who's already signed up from you and they make $1,000 trade, then essentially you're going to get $1 of every single one of those trades. So a 10% chunk of those fees. So what is that? I guess 2%, a 2% fee on those escrow for $1,000 would be $20, but to make 10% out of that, you'd be making $2. So yeah, $2 on $1,000 of anybody in your second tier. So it can add up quick, especially if you're fairly active on here. And it is an easy way to earn money if you're regularly turning around some Bitcoin. So definitely, if that's something you're into, then go ahead, check out the affiliate, because it could be another way for you to stack sats. So I guess in summary here, you've got your buy, your sell, you can create offers or just browse. You've got a Bitcoin wallet. By the way, keep in mind, not your keys, not your coins. So right now this is held by Paxful, but if you do want to withdraw it, super easy. You can just send Bitcoin, and it'll say, where do you want to send it? You put in your Bitcoin address from your wallet, whether it be one on your desktop or whether it be one on your phone. You just have to get that address and paste it in here. And then you can say how much you want to send, and you can send the whole amount or you can just send a partial. And yeah, so you can send out from your wallet, and then of course you've got your affiliates right here and all of your settings and anything else. I'm not going to go into this right now because it will reveal a little bit of sensitive information. But with that, that's about it. That was Paxful, and hopefully this is helpful for you guys and helps you maybe turn around some Bitcoin and make some fees in the process, or helps you get your hands on Bitcoin in a place where it may not be super easy to do so. So what did you guys think of Paxful? Have you used it? If not, feel free to give it a try and let me know what you think of interacting with the platform. On my behalf, I kind of see it, again, most useful as those that are buying in locations where it may be difficult to do so and they need those massive amount of payment options to be available to them, and those that are selling and looking to make maybe some extra sats on top or make a bit of a business out of it, it can be particularly attractive. And also those that are looking to obtain things like super cheap, deeply discounted gift cards. I mean, you saw some of the percentages that you can get there. Not to be scoffed at, definitely. So yeah, give it a go. Let me know what you think. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to hit like, subscribe, and share. It's always great to get more eyeballs on these videos. Of course, if you want to help out the show in another way, you can hit up the sponsors I mentioned down below. Those were LEDN and Rise Wallet, as well as check out Wasabi Wallet, which is great for your Bitcoin privacy. And if you want to check out Paxful, there are links down below to do so. And finally, of course, if you really enjoyed what you saw, you can always drop me a Lightning Network tip at my tippin.me page. And with that, I am out. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you guys next time for your daily session.